Hey dudes, kind of just wanted to give us some home exercises we could do to help supplement what's going on in practice. That way, when we come back this Thursday coming up, we have a good idea of what's going on. I want to start with talking about roller derby position, because this is a position that you're going to be in pretty much anytime you're doing any skill, anytime you're on the track, you should be in this position. I can't stress it enough. You have a lower center of gravity when you're in it, and it's harder for someone to knock you over when you're in it. I don't know, you should always be ready to take a hit. Here we go. Everybody's roller derby position is different, depending on your body. If you're tall, if you're short, if you have long arms, short arms, long torso. Don't be discouraged if yours doesn't look exactly like the person next to you. You'll find that place that makes you feel comfortable, makes you feel stable. It's just going to take playing around with it a little bit. I'll show you mine, and you can kind of play out flat if you want. Feet shoulder width apart, and then I bend my knees. And in this position, I like to kind of shake a little bit, like give a little bounce. I like to think of myself as like a spring, or like a car shock. I like to bounce back and forth and just kind of find the zone where I feel comfortable. I can take somebody coming in and knocking me over, right? I'm going to show you side angle to kind of show you how you should be lined up. From the side, again, feet shoulder width apart. You're going to bend down in that position, chest up, knees down, and then you want your head to be up. You based over your knees, right? I don't want to be bent over like this. However, I do want my head to be a little bit further ahead than the rest of my body. I don't want to be setting up like this where I can be knocked back and fall in a position that can be unsafe. I want to be something forward, head forward, more weight forward. So if anything is to happen, the weight is tilted forward where I can ball fall or fall into a safe position. So again, number one thing on any skill is getting in roller derby position. Number two, so we have roller derby position down. The next thing we want to do is focus on getting our weight shift and like balancing out. The way I like to think about this is the same way I think about walking, right? It starts off kind of hard. You don't know what you're doing, but you eventually get into it and you find your rhythm. And the goal here is to get us so comfortable that it feels like we're on skates, right? I want you to play around with your weight shifts, right? When you're walking, when you're doing your day-to-day things, like where am I putting my weight? Am I putting in my toes? Am I putting in my heels? When I'm on my right foot, is it going into the outer edge, the inner edge? Feel what makes sense to you, right? And this is a great segue into number 3, which is glides. If your balance is off when you're lifting up a leg, it's rough, right? So glides kind of get you comfortable with being on one foot. Stand up. What are we in? Derby position. Down, chest up, head forward. Pick up a leg. This is going to be rough. It's like squatting, but with one leg off the ground. A lot of your weight are going to be in your quads. If this is something that you cannot do right now, do not fret, you will get there. So, knees bent, chest up, face forward, lift your leg. Now, once you're in this position, I want you to think about squeezing your legs, your thighs together, okay? And now I want you to shift, 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 almost like you're skiing. Where's your weight going? Now, lift the other leg. Where's my weight going? If I'm falling this way, oh God, am I using my inside or my outside edges to help pull me back in? What am I using? What am I using? What edges am I using to bring me back? Inside, outside. And play around with this. Really get your legs used to being in an active state, whether that be up, down. I think skill number 3 or 4. Falling and knee taps. It doesn't matter how long you've been skating, at some point in time, you're gonna fall. That being said, because falling is such a big part of roller derby, we have to practice falling safely and almost controlled, like a control fall. Building, again, those quads up and just kind of getting used to using these muscles that maybe we're not as used to using in our day-to-day life. We're gonna do some more leg exercises. So you're gonna be in roller derby position. You're gonna pick up one leg and you're gonna lift it slowly. You're gonna lift the other one. You're gonna drop it slowly. What muscles are you using to do that? Where are your edges at? Think about when you're doing that, what part of your legs are you using to keep yourself straight up and in a controlled position? Think about that, because those are the same muscles you'll be using with skates on. Again, roller derby position. I'm ready to take a hit from any side. Lift, drop, lift, drop. Fourth or fifth, we don't know for sure what skill at this point. The T-stop, which, yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. You're stopping with your feet in a position of a T. This goes off of the one-footed glides and that roller derby position. Here we go. All right, so again, what's the first thing? Roller derby position. All right. Low, chest forward, face up. So the T-stop, you're going to be practicing lifting that leg like you have been doing, and then you're going to practicing putting it out, straightening it, and as you are straightening your leg, you're transferring your weight back. So again, roller derby position, I'm lifting this leg, and I'm ready to start braking, so I'm picking my foot up, and I'm transferring my weight this way. Ready? Foot up, transfer back. When you're on wheels, your thighs have to squeeze tight so your feet don't roll away or so your foot doesn't drag. So while you're doing this drill, while you're in position and you go to pick up your foot, I want you to think about getting your foot back to put in a T position while also squeezing your legs together. Lifting, position for a T, transferring that weight while squeezing my thighs together. That drill's a little harder to do when you're not on skates. You're not going to get the feel as much, but it'll get you in the mindset of what to do with your legs. We went over derby position. We went over one-footed glides. We went over knee taps, weight transfers, and we went over T-stops. Keep practicing, you all. Stay strong. And remember, who are we?